Hi, I'm Dr. Genhee So, founder of ElevateMD, and today we're going to talk about financial guilt and how you can overcome it to feel comfortable with spending. I definitely struggled with financial guilt. I thought that if I worked hard and I busted my butt, that I should be able to deserve whatever I wanted because I earned it. But the problem was when I would spend something that wasn't absolutely necessary, maybe a fancy purse, maybe a bit of a fancy dinner, I would have buyer's remorse afterwards, and I would feel guilty that I spent too much. That maybe I should be more responsible with my money to make sure that I didn't have to work into my 70s to retire comfortably. This was something that was really difficult for me to overcome and was really plaguing me on a day-to-day basis, because every time I went to pull out my credit card, I was always unsure if I was spending too much. The way I overcame the feeling that I couldn't afford things is I created a budget for myself. I gave myself a spending budget so I knew how much I could spend comfortably in a given month or a given year. And so that really opened up freedom for me. I didn't necessarily have to spend that entire budget in 1 month. Maybe I saved it and squirreled it away to spend 2 months worth of a spending budget, but it gave me the freedom to spend it on whatever I wanted. And that freedom was really empowering, and it also made spending much more enjoyable. Also, because I knew that I was saving responsibly and I had the plan in place to know how much I needed to save, I just took what was left over and said, hey, I can spend this freely because I know I've already done the responsible thing and saved appropriately. Changing my mindset to feeling like I couldn't afford to spend is not as easy as you think. Maybe intuitively we think, oh, if you come into $1,000, then you can spend it on whatever you want. You could go on a shopping spree. But when you've earned that $1,000 and you're uncertain about your future, spending that $1,000 is not as rewarding as you think it might be. But when you see the plan in action working, when you save on a regular basis and you know exactly how much you need to save, that gives you the confidence and the proof that it's working. When you can see your wealth building over time by implementing the plan that you've discussed with your team, that helps you return to a calmer, happier place to be able to enjoy those hard-earned dollars that you worked day in and day out for. Working with the right expert completely changed how I perceived money and how much more I enjoyed money. The expert for me was a check and balance system. I was able to double check with them to make sure that I was on the right path. They were able to help me avoid any kind of behavioral biases and emotions that were tied to money and my relationship with money. As soon as I was able to have this type of financial coach to set me in the right direction, what it did was just boosted my performance. It was boosting my performance on the investment side. It was boosting my performance and satisfaction at work. And it was also boosting my level of enjoyment of spending the money I had earned. Overcoming that fear of guilt and not being able to afford it isn't going to happen overnight. But I promise, when you have a plan in place, a budget, and a good saving regimen, and you can see it working over time, you're going to reclaim that financial freedom and that peace of mind and know that you're set on the right path for financial success. If you want to learn more about how to overcome the fear of guilt and not being able to afford it, visit my website at drgenheeso.com. I'm Dr. Genhee So with ElevateMD. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next episode.